Right, 22 August 2024. And today I'm excited to be giving you my evening update. And this is with regards to all the things that have been happening today since the beginning of the day. So I want us to go through SADC. As usual, SADC is a very important body and a lot is happening. And we are still awaiting a response from SADC regarding the dialogue. So dialogue is going to be kickstarted by SADC, and we're going to keep watching what SADC does. Remember, the things that are happening in Zimbabwe right now are crazy. We still have all the people that were arrested in jail, and they've not been released. And we've written to the president of Botswana, President Masisi. We've written to the president of South Africa, President Ramaphosa. I've written to the SADC chairperson or chairman, Mnangagwa. And I've also written to the president of Tanzania, President Samia Suluhu Hassan. And all these presidents are going to give us responses. And as I said, I'm going to keep confidential what has happened with the elders because it is very important for me to keep confidentiality. However, what I'm going to show you now is not confidential. There is a massive problem with the SADC Parliament. So you saw that President Masisi stayed in Zimbabwe while all the other presidents left. He also stayed with King Mswati and the president of Madagascar, President Rajolina. However, the president of Botswana, President Masisi, has actually not signed one of the most important documents that they needed him to sign. That is the SADC Parliament documents. He refused to sign that document because of various reasons. And the result was that Mudenda had to follow him to Botswana on the 19th. So as soon as the SADC summit ended, Mudenda was on a plane with the other parliament speakers. And this is the picture here from yesterday. You can see Masisi and Mudenda and the Speaker of Botswana Parliament over there. They were trying to convince President Masisi to sign, but President Masisi refused to sign. And I do not understand exactly why he's not signing, but he's one of the 4 countries that have refused to sign the ratification of the treaty or the changing of the treaty of SADC, which would allow SADC to have a parliament. And if SADC was to have a parliament, the SADC Parliamentary Forum would then move from Namibia and it would become part of the SADC Secretariat in Botswana. And this is something that President Masisi has been resisting for a very, very long time. And you can see how strong he is. That he stayed with Mnangagwa, he took pictures, he went to his farm, he pretended as if everything was fine. But he still stood by his decision not to sign this document for the SADC Parliament. To me, the SADC Parliament is a creature that I do not understand its purpose, because there is already a Pan-African Parliament, which is there in South Africa. And what Mnangagwa is trying to do is to strengthen his position. He wants to get more and more power, and he wants to become the president of SADC. However, what President Masisi has done is that he's focusing on the African Union. And this month, Botswana has assumed the chairmanship of the AU PSC. So that is Peace and Security Council, which is made up of countries that are north of Botswana. So all the countries that are north of Botswana are in a group. And I think these are about 12 countries, countries such as Egypt, DRC, Angola, they're all in there. And they do not include the countries that are trying to form a SADC parliament. So I wouldn't be surprised if President Masisi is looking with favor to the countries above of him and is just tolerating the countries that are down here. Because Botswana is actually doing very, very well. Botswana's economy, although things are very expensive, like I showed you, Botswana's economy is functional. The systems in Botswana are working. The judiciary in Botswana is fairly reasonable, and things are working. The infrastructure in Botswana is amazing. Investors are coming, especially international organizations. So there's no reason for President Masisi to want this SADC badly, the way that Mnangagwa wants. President Masisi does not need endorsement like Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa wants endorsement from SADC. That's why he's running around so much, going to SADC and trying to force everyone to become part of a SADC parliament. So let's see what happens. So 12 countries have signed, and before the rest of the countries sign, this SADC parliament is not going to happen. And this is something that we have to watch. Let's see what happens with this signature. Let's see if President Masisi is going to change his mind now that these speakers of parliament have gone. So all the speakers followed President Masisi to his office to try to get him to sign. So let's see if he's going to sign and what is going to be the outcome of that. So I don't want to stay too long here. It's been a very hectic day. And let me tell you why it's been a hectic day. Nelson Chamisa and Bobo Chungono, that issue is driving people crazy. People don't want to hear anything about it. They don't want to hear people talking about Nelson Chamisa. They want Nelson Chamisa to stay the way he is. They've got great love for Nelson Chamisa. And I've been getting a lot of calls to say, guys, why are you covering Storia Hopo? Let Hopo start his own newspaper if he wants to be covered. So yeah, that was that for the whole of today. Since morning, everyone's saying Hopo Chungono must not talk until Mnangagwa is out. So let's see what happens. I'm going to observe the situation, and I'll let you know if any new developments come up. Tomorrow, we're going to see Prince Dubeko Sibanda coming into court. I hope that will be released. Prince Dubeko Sibanda is being accused of organizing demonstrations that took place on the 16th and the 17th, where tires were burned in Harare. So there were a number of incidences where people went on the streets and burnt tires. And they're saying that in the groups where Prince Dubeko Sibanda was, he is the one who said people must do that. And they're accusing him of tweeting. And you know what happens when you tweet? You get those guys excited. Intelligence agencies get their pens out, that ears stand up and the eyes widen. And that is what most intelligence officers spend their whole day doing, watching videos of Gambakwe, going on Twitter, doing press-ups, drinking beer and walking around. That is what they do all day. So I hope that Prince Dubeko Sibanda is released. There is not much evidence against him, and he was not around when those things happened. I now want to go to 50-year strategy. We are busy working on the 50-year strategy. As you are aware, Zimbabwe is going to go into dialogue. After dialogue, Zimbabwe is going to go into the transitional system. After a transitional system, Zimbabwe is going to go to fresh elections, and I anticipate that these changes are going to come about between 2035 and 2040. I do not anticipate a normal Zimbabwe before that time. So one of the biggest trends that is happening right now in Africa is the high-speed trains. And I want to showcase for you, in the past 3 weeks, Ghana has brought in their first 12 high-speed trains. And this is the high-speed trains of Ghana. They've created a massive town, new town, and they've connected it with a 13-kilometer rail where these 12 trains are going to be traveling. And this is a trend. The other countries that are also doing this is Sierra Leone. I'm going to show you Sierra Leone tomorrow. So these are the trains of Ghana. They just arrived about 2 to 3 weeks ago. They look amazing. And moving between these towns is seamless. There's almost no traffic left in Ghana because of these trains that have been introduced. And the person to thank for this is Dr. Mensa, the first person who holds 7 patents for developing fiber optic. He is the African who has developed the internet. The infrastructure of the internet was created by Dr. Mensa. And 6 years ago, he started talking about the high-speed trains or high-speed rail. So this is becoming a reality in Ghana. He chose to go with China. So China is the one that provided these trains that are being launched in Ghana right now. So it's amazing what's happening. High-speed rail is big right now, and Zimbabwe is being left behind. So what Zimbabwe needs to do, when I talk of Zimbabwe, I'm talking about post-dialogue and during the transitional authority, is to create a rail system. So I'm going to call this 2 hours from Harare to Bulawayo. So put it in perspective. The trains in Ghana are traveling at 320 kilometers an hour. The trains in Zimbabwe only need to do 250 kilometers an hour, and you'll be able to move between Bulawayo and Harare in 2 hours. So that is the target, that is the goal. 2 hours between Harare and Bulawayo, and 1 hour, 30 minutes between Bulawayo and Victoria Falls. So Victoria Falls is the place where the future of Zimbabwe is going to lie. And this is the goal. So we're going to be working very hard. I'm talking to a lot of people about this. We're lobbying for it. And that is the future. So 6 years ago, Dr. Mensa, I hope I got his name correct. I hope I didn't make any mistake here. He is the one who started with this idea. The richest man or the most wealthiest man or the man with the most patents in Africa. He is the one who came up with the idea of the high-speed rail over there in Ghana. Amazing stuff. Go check it out. Go check out the rail and also what they're doing with the rapid bus transport system. Zimbabwe is left behind. It's the one country, the way things are not happening. I can say if you take Zimbabwe, Botswana, Mozambique, and a little bit of Malawi, we're the least developed countries right now, and something needs to be done. There is a big problem over there. What is happening in Angola is amazing, and I've already shown you what is happening north of Botswana. A lot of things are happening over there, but right now Angola is doing very, very well. And also, yesterday I was showing you what is happening in Tanzania. Angola is focusing on their flight system. They're building a brand new massive airport in the city. And Tanzania is building, they've already launched their standard gauge rail, and they are doing a new port right now. They've also built a new capital city for government. So the capital city of Tanzania is going to be moving. And at the same time, we as Zimbabwe are sitting looking at a little airport. So Mnangagwa opened a desk today, a desk at the airport, a little desk where you can sit and talk to people. That is what Mnangagwa opened today, after which he went to get food aid from China. So the Chinese gave Zimbabwe food. So straight from opening the airport that was built by the Chinese, Mnangagwa went and got some food from the Chinese. We are not going anywhere. Mnangagwa's vision is very small. His vision is not big enough. We need change very, very quickly. We cannot continue with Mnangagwa and his activities. Mnangagwa's activities are destroying our country. And Mnangagwa Arukuravan Nenzara. I've been saying this for a very, very long time. Other countries are doing very well, and we're not doing well at all. So as I said, tomorrow I'll take you through the Senegal system. Senegal is doing very, very well. They've also launched a new bus system. If you see here, they've launched a bus system which is like a train, and they're building a new city away from their main city so that they can do things there with no traffic. You can see there's almost no traffic. They've built new roads that are separate for cars and separate for trains. They've built new places where you can go into the bus and new technology to support all these things. Whilst at the same time here in Zimbabwe, all we're talking about is 2030. Today, they started again. The 2030 guys are back. Today, they've started, and I'll show you more of that tomorrow. They've started in Harare today to campaign for the 2030 Mnangagwa. So I want to bring this to an end. I've been quite busy today. I missed out on this story. So I'll bring it to you tomorrow. What has happened to Comrade Chink's wife, Patricia Simon. So I don't know if she's been declared a national hero. I've not been around the whole day. So let's see what happened over there. And it's quite interesting what is happening around Zimbabwe. Tomorrow is a Friday. We're watching Dubeko Banda and the rest of the guys. Mkoma Amos, Chamisa, Chete. God is in it. That is what you are saying there, Mkoma Amos. People love Chamisa. People are, what can I say, fanatical about Chamisa. Wherever you go, wherever you look, Chafuta, all these guys, they're fanatical about Chamisa. If you say Chamisa did something, they'll say, okay, it's in your head. Or they say, speak to the hand. That is what they're saying to anyone who says anything about Chamisa. Hopo Diani. Okay, tell Hopo to open his party. Well, this is what I've been told since morning. I've been getting calls like, hey, Gambakwe, please, Musanyore Nyadza Hopo. Guys, I'm a media. I run media. I don't run a quiet house. If there's a story, I run with it. You must love me for that. Good evening, team, and Mr. Gambakwe. So the reason why I must run all stories is I don't want you guys to watch something somewhere else. I also want you to watch on my channel. And then they have already endorsed this. So what is the point? The point is that there is no consensus in SADC. Many leaders came to SADC and they went through the motions. But the drama is about to begin. Do not think this is the end of it. Do not think everyone is happy that Mnangagwa is locked up, all the opposition activists. And don't think it will end like that. Next thing is coming. And one thing I want to tell you guys before I go, God wants to punish Mnangagwa. And he wants to punish him in public. So he's letting him do all these things that he's doing. So that is why Chamisa says God is in it. For Mnangagwa to continue to hold people in jail, it is a foundation for him to get the punishment that is coming. God wants to punish Mnangagwa very hard. And it's going to happen in front of your eyes. And I'm going to show you here. Do you remember that day when I said God wants to punish Mnangagwa? That's why he's letting him arrest people and throw them in jail and keep them there for days and days. Some guys are now reaching 70 days in jail. And for what purpose? And the judges are not taking them to court. They are just sitting there in jail. Anna Bishop Nyamakanga, Anangari Vume, all these guys were sitting in jail. Dubeko now spending a week in jail. So let's just watch. These things don't happen for no reason. Mkoma Mfirako say blue movement. Blue. All right. I sold a few blue movement t-shirts for $50 each. That was amazing. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I really appreciate all your support that you've been giving Gambakwe Media. On the 14th is my birthday, 14th of September. I know that mine is 14, Mnangagwa is 15. So, you know who came first. So, on the 14th, we're going to start a campaign, right? We need to build Gambakwe Studio. So, I'm going to give you guys the campaign. I can't stay in this studio, guys. I need a new studio. So, we're going to start a fundraiser for my studio. On the 15th, we must have that money. We need just a little bit of money to build a studio, to put me in a nice place where I can do well. And support, the way I support you guys, you must support me when I ask. So from tomorrow, we're going to put out that ask. We're going to ask for that support. And if you already want to do it, fumojena.com, that is our place. You go to fumojena.com and you can find our payment methods over there. So all you need to do is tell me that Gambakwe ndakukandira $5,000 Tivake Studio, high-speed rail. That is where we're going to start with the studio for Gambakwe. Guys, I'm really enjoying this, and I would like to thank you for all your support. Let's see if someone else has said God is in it here. 14 and 15, Kiki. Yes, 14 is Gambakwe, 15 is Mnangagwa, and I think Mahere is somewhere in the mix there. Somewhere there. Pisa. My birthday in September. Yeah, most of the people mostly because Madara end up for Christmas. And then 9 months later, September, then that's when you see the September babies. Prophet Gambakwe, yes, God wants to punish Mnangagwa. Before I go, you said prophet, right? Let me show you a crazy thing that happened today. Prophet Advocate Joshua has shocked the nation after he was caught wearing a ZANU-PF cap. And I cannot believe it. I want to ask Prophet Advocate Joshua what has happened. Ever since he bought those trucks, you see there, I don't know what has happened to Prophet Advocate Joshua. He has started to show himself as a ZANU-PF member. In fact, he's been appointed a chairman of a ZANU-PF ward. That is my understanding, Prophet Advocate Joshua. I won't be surprised if you start hearing him calling himself Comrade Prophet Advocate Joshua. So I'll ask him what's happening there, Prophet Advocate Joshua. And you know that the father of Prophet Advocate Joshua, his driver was Xavier Kasukuwere. Go and Google. My father, Xavier Kasukuwere was my father's driver. That is from Prophet Advocate Joshua. I did that video with him about 5 years ago. Go and check it out. It's amazing that he's coming full cycle and becoming a member of ZANU. I hope that he doesn't do the work that his father was doing. He will tell you, if you go and look at that video, you'll see what Prophet Advocate Joshua's father was doing as a job. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I'll see you in the morning, 5 a.m. every day. We're live, and Friday is one of our best news days.